What is up, everyone? My name is Gary Blackwood. Welcome back to my vlog. Another beautiful day here in California. The sun is shining, the weather is good, and I am playing 5-5-10 at the Hustler Casino. Nowhere else I'd rather be, of course. So it's not long before I'm involved in my first pot of the day here. I am on the button with pocket sixes. There have been two limps from the hijack and the cutoff, and I raised it on up to $60. I'd probably overlimp my 5s, 4s, 3s, and deuces, but 6 is just a little strong, and I have to raise here. The cutoff is the only caller. We're heads up to the first flop of the day. 6 in the window. Not only that, but it's ace high, so a good chance I can get some value here. I decide to size up a little bit versus the limper here. I bet $75. No fold from my opponent. He makes the call. To the turn we go. It's an offsuit 8. He checks to me, and he's only got about 450 behind at this point, so I bet $150. Setting up for the river jam if he calls. But unfortunately, he's just going to make the fold. Still, it's a good start for me here, flopping a set early on. I've got a really good feeling about today. All right, 10 minutes later, I am in the middle blind with pocket 5s. Third man walking podcaster Charlie Wilmuth has raised under the gun. The small blind is called, and that means I can call as well, as if I wasn't calling if the small blind didn't. The big blind comes along as well. We're going 4 ways to the flop here. It's another set for me, 15 minutes into the session, and I flopped 2 sets. It's going to be a good day today. I can really feel it. Unfortunately, though, this one is going to check all the way around on the flop. The turn is the 4 of diamonds, very draw completing turn, but this pot is too small for a hand as strong as mine. So I bet out for $75. Really annoying though, everyone's just going to fold, but 2 hands, 2 sets, 2 pots, not the end of the world. Straddle. All right, you guys all heard that. I clearly say straddle before I look at my cards. Middle position is raised to $60. The big blind calls, and I look down at 2 aces. I feel like an absolute scumbag here, even though I haven't done anything wrong. I put in the squeeze to $300. Middle position gets out the way, and the big blind goes deep into the tank. He eventually lets it go, but it's so nice to look down at 2 aces in the straddle there, even if I didn't get any action. Speaking of action, this next one is a very fun hand. I'm in the cutoff with pocket 9s and raise it on up to $30. It folds round to the big blind, who announces raise, and he makes it $130 to go. He's only got like $150 or so behind after that, so I just move all in. It's only $300 total at the very most. He makes the call. I immediately show my 9s, and he says,
"Okay, I have a chance."
Yo! Wow. Yeah. Rough. That's the third set of the day.
I still have a chance, but that's my luck at this game. Can you call PH?
Thank you.
all right, so we're 6-handed here, and I'm in the big blind with king queen offsuit. Under the gun is raised to $40. The cutoff and the middle blind have both made the call. I decide against squeezing here. I just call. We're going 4 ways to the flop here. It is 9-9-7 with 2 hearts. Bit of a swing and a miss for me here, but really happy to see that it checks all the way around. No swinging and missing on the turn, though. It's an offsuit king. Good turn for me, but of course not able to lead out here. We check it on over to under the gun, who bets out for $75. It folds all the way around to me, and I make the call. To the river, it's an offsuit 8. Flush draw misses, but a bunch of straights do complete. And when I check to my opponent, he bets again for $125. You know that thing people used to do like 10 years ago where they assign their opponent a range of literally one combo, like I put you on ace king, or maybe I put you on a flush draw? Well, for some reason, that's exactly what my brain is doing here. I just feel like he's got ace king and nothing else. I can just feel it in my bones. I also feel like if I make it 600 here, he's not the kind of guy that's going to call with ace king for reasons unbeknown to man. I check raise here to $600. I think maybe king jack and king 10 are fine to do this with, and hands like 10-8 suited, the natural bluffs, but king queen should just be a call here for $125, and we move on to the next hands. But no, I've decided to make it $600 to go. My opponent is tanking for ages and ages. Eventually he says, all right, and folds, not before showing the king of diamonds. No idea if he's folded ace king, king jack. Maybe pocket kings put me on quads. Probably not, but you never know. As a wise man once said, though, this is not spew if it gets through. All right, super smooth day here so far. I don't think I've lost a pot more than $100. Next up, I'm in the cutoff with king jack offsuit. Under the gun is limped. Middle position has raised, but he's only made it $30 to go, and I decide to call. I'm folding king 10 here. King jack is right on the line, but I do want to play with the limper, and it's a very small raise, so I make the call, as does the limper. 3 ways to the flop here. It is ace king jack with 2 diamonds. Middle position decides to c-bet here for $50. Only I make the call. Heads up to the turn, it's the 5 of spades. There are now 2 flush draws on board. board, and he bets again for $75. I really do think we should raise here versus this small size, but for whatever reason, in position, I decide to just call. The river is not great. It's an ace, which gives me 3 pair. He checks it on over to me. I think my hand's a little too strong to bluff here. I check it back, and he's got Queen 10 offsuit for the flop nuts. He still had the nuts on the turn. Good thing I didn't decide to raise there, as that could have been pretty expensive. All right, time now for a little PLO double board bomb pot action. I've got a really good starting hand here in the form of 7-7-4-4. And what's more, I've flopped a set of 4s on each board. What are the chances? So the flop is actually going to check round here, and we're going to get fireworks on the turn. We're 5 ways here. First player to act is going to bet out for $100. 2 other players call before I call, and then the button calls as well. 5 ways to the river. I've got a boat on one board, a set on the other. It checks to the guy to my right, and he bets out for $350. I think for a few seconds and I decide, do you know what? I might be able to win half. I make the call. And the other 3 players behind call as well. What the hell is going on? We've got a 5-way showdown here. The guy to my right has got 6-5 for the nut straight. The guy to my left has got ace-5 for a worse straight. The guy to his left has the nut flush. And the last player, fuck knows what he has because he just mucks his cards. I am somehow, some way chopping up this PLO hand and making a very nice profit in the process because we were 5 ways to showdown. Not to be greedy though, but dealer pair the bottom board 1 time. Okay, maybe that is a bit greedy. Really smooth day so far today. I'd love to show you guys some losing hands, but they've been few and far between. The ones that I have lost have been very, very small pots. Next up, I'm in the hijack with 10-9 of clubs. Straddle is on for this hand, and under the gun is limped. I raise it on up to $90 in the hijack. The cutoff is going to call, as is the limper. 3 ways to the flop here. It is ace-9-6 with 2 spades. I decide against c-betting here. I just check, as does the guy to my left. We're going to go 3 ways to the turn. It's the 7 of hearts. 2 flush draws on board now. Under the gun decides to bet out for $225. I've got a pair and an open-ended straight draw, so I make the call. Hate to see the cutoff call as well, though. We're going 3 ways to the river. It is the king of spades. Front door flush gets there. Not great at all. It checks to me. And I think about bluffing here, but with the cutoff behind, I just check. Happy to see the cutoff snap check back. He immediately shows his hand. He's got 8-7 offsuit. Under the gun can't beat it though, so somehow I am scooping in this pot. Really didn't expect to win it, but I'll absolutely take it. I'm going to head out for a real quick break here, and I take the camera with me. Please do excuse my big swollen lip, as the night before some wee Spanish kid had kicked me in the face while playing soccer. Alright, little mid-session update. Something I don't really do well enough when I play live poker is come out and stretch my legs and just step away and stretch and shit like that. I tend to just sit there from start to finish unless I need the bathroom. So I'm going to try and incorporate that into the grind a little more, just come out and stretch my legs and stuff. Up about $1,700 for the day so far. It's been a really ABC day. You know, nobody's given me any trouble. I've won a bunch of pots. It's been a really smooth day so far today. Probably just jinxed myself, but we'll see how it goes for the rest of the day. But yeah, up about 1,700. Feeling good. Let's grind out for a few more hours. All right, nice little leg stretch there. Back to the grind now, and I'm welcomed back into my seat with a pair of kings in the middle blind. There's been a limp from early position. The cutoff is raised to $50, and I, of course, put in the re-raise to $250. The cutoff thinks for a few seconds before making the call. We're heads up to the flop here with over $500 in the middle, and it's queen 10-7 with 2 diamonds. Pretty good here. Definitely a board that I can get paid on. So I decide to size up a little bit. I bet out for $300. My opponent thinks for a few seconds and then makes the call. All right, this pot is escalating. The turn is an offsuit 6. Some straight draws get there, but I'm not worried about those too much. I want to keep getting value from his 1 pair hands. So I bet again for $750. He's got about $1,800 in his stack at this point, and I cover him. So if he does make the call, I can happily shove the river. Unfortunately, though, he is going to just fold as I'm dragging in this pot. I think, okay, it's a nice pot, but I wonder how long it'll take before I get kings again. And it is literally, like literally, the next hand. Beautiful stuff. In this hand, early position is raised to $35. The same guy from the last hand calls, and I, of course, squeeze to $175. Early position folds, but middle position is going to stick around to make the call. We go heads up to king 8 deuce rainbow. Pretty good flop, if I do say so myself. I bet really small for $125, and he snap folds. As I throw my hand into the muck, the dealer accidentally touches it with his hand, and it turns face up.
Good.
All right, lots of pocket pairs today, lots of sets, hoping to squeeze just one more set out before the end of the day. I've got pocket tens in the middle blind. The cutoff is a very ABC non-pro who's raised to $30, and the button is going to put in the re-raise to $100. I know I should probably just fold this, but I just can't bring myself to do it with pocket tens. I decide to cold call for $100. Not great at all. The cutoff is going to punish me beautifully, though. He puts in the 4-bet to $330. Now it's back on the button, and he makes the call. It's $220 more to me to find a 10 and probably stack the guy who's got aces or kings almost always in the cutoff, so I make the call. What's this? No set for me? I really thought I was going to hit it because I'd been running so well with my pocket pairs today. We check it on over to the cutoff. Who moves all in for $1,500? The button folds, and I don't fold immediately. I'm never ever folding this, but I just want to take 15 seconds or so and give this guy a little bit of a sweat. He's not a pro. He's here for the sweat. So I give it to him for 15 seconds and say, all right, you got it, and fold. And he turns over pocket aces. Big surprise there, but we all go, oh, whoa, nice hand. Yeah, nice hand. Yeah, nice hand, buddy. All right, coming towards the end of the session here, and I am in the big blind with Big Slick. Under the gun makes it $35 to go. The button calls, and I once again put in the squeeze, this time to $160. No respect once again, though, as under the gun is going to make the call, as is the button. 3 ways to the flop here. It is 10-8-5 all clubs. Complete swing and a miss for me here. I don't have a club in my hand, but I'm happy to see that it somehow checks all the way around. To the turn, it's an offsuit 6. No help to me at all. I check, and once again, somehow it checks all the way around. King of diamonds on the river. Was there ever any doubt given how I've been running today? I bet out for $250, hoping to catch someone with king, queen, or king, jack, but they both fold. Still nice to pick up this pot. It's a sign of how things have gone for me today. Very smooth day overall, and as I'm racking up my chips, I head to the cashier. Another fine Monday afternoon for me here at the Hustler Casino in Los Angeles. Alright guys and girls, that is going to do it for this episode. Poker can be really tough sometimes. It can also be really, really easy, and today it was just really easy. I was just smooth. I won all the pots I played. I didn't have any difficult decisions. I flopped a bunch of sets. My value bets got paid off. Yeah, really, really smooth day today. I won about $2,530, which is fantastic. I'm having a really good trip so far. This is going to air after the Hustler Casino live game, so hopefully I don't lose like 100k there. And then you guys see this me being like, oh, I'm having a good trip so far and stuff. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. If you enjoyed the show, click that sub button. You guys know the drill. Until next time, take it easy.